Welcome into another edition of Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Today on the show, hey, we're all good here in Atlanta regards to Kaepernick. Where Spencer Strider should be in this pitching bullpen rotation, where's he supposed to be, and another Hawks trade potential. We'll talk about that and more. Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta.
This is Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta. And it starts now.
Welcome into another edition of Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, asking you to head over to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta into your browser, search us, hit the subscribe button when you find us, be a part of the community, leave us a comment if you would about what we're talking about, and of course, follow me on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. We got word yesterday that Colin Kaepernick worked out for the Las Vegas Raiders. No signs or indications about whether or not they're going to sign him, this, that, and the other. Don't really care. What I do care about, though, is Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk and ProFootballTalk.com. Look, he's one of the leading pro football websites. I use him for a lot of resources and stuff like that. But when he starts throwing out his opinions, okay. This was a tweet that he put out, I guess at this point, yesterday. Quote, Colin Kaepernick, with time to knock off the rust and prepare, would be better than any option the Seahawks, Panthers, and Texans currently have. He'd be better than any quarterback that the Dolphins currently have. And this is the kicker for us here in Atlanta. He'd possibly win the job in Atlanta too. Okay, now let me also, just for reference, before all the stuff went down with Kaepernick and being out of the league and all that, before all of that, right? This is what Mike Florio said in some tweets about Colin Kaepernick. Quote, when Kaepernick said he'd throw at Sherman, I didn't think he meant it literally. Quote, if Kaepernick were truly great with a capital G, his team would have more tonight than zero with a capital Z. Quote, anyone who is surprised by the benching of Colin Kaepernick hasn't been paying close attention to the 49ers, and quote, Colin Kaepernick doing his best Brian Moorman impersonation. So wasn't exactly a big fan of him, but now all of a sudden he's okay. So we're not going to get into that part of it, but he'd possibly win the job in Atlanta. Let me help you out, Mike. As somebody in Atlanta, works for the flagship station, understands the team, we're good. We're all good. Now, look, good for Kaepernick. I hope he gets in the league and gets a chance to live his football dream. Got no issues or problems with that. We don't need him here in Atlanta. First off, what would he be here in Atlanta? What exactly are you using Colin Kaepernick for? Is he a bridge to the next quarterback? What would be his long-term deal? And I understand he said he'd be a backup, this, and the other. But right now, the Falcons are in a mode where somebody like Colin Kaepernick, even where he's at in his career, would make zero sense here in Atlanta. Okay, Marcus Mariota is here to not be the guy that's probably going to be here for the next decade or whatever like that. It's one of two things with Marcus Mariota. He has a relationship with Arthur Smith, so the transition of going from here's our franchise guy into a potential bridge is a little bit easier because there is some familiarity and some relationship with those two guys. Obviously, with Kaepernick, there's none of that that's going on out there. And Mariota is getting a chance to show, okay, I'm still young enough. Kaepernick's 33, going to be 34 years old. Mariota's still a guy who's a little bit younger that if for some reason you struck lightning in a bottle, you could get a few years out of him. And if you want to transition to Ritter or somebody else at that point, that's fine. But if he doesn't work out, you also drafted a quarterback this year that either you're going to give a chance to show that he can play, or you may be in the quarterback sweepstakes next year, the year after, whatever like that. My point to all of this is that nothing about that fits what Colin Kaepernick is. Is Colin Kaepernick a better quarterback than Marcus Mariota? There's zero way to know that. That's Mike Florio bloviating, hypothesizing, whatever term you want to use, that he's just, how about this, throwing crap at a wall. I don't know if Colin Kaepernick's better. Has he had more success in his football career than Marcus Mariota? Yes, that is a definite yes. He has had more success. He's been in the Super Bowl. He's helped lead a team there. But that's Colin Kaepernick back in, you know, 5, 6, 7 years ago or whatever. That's not Colin Kaepernick at 33, going on 34 years old in the NFL. We have no idea what he is. And if you bring in a Colin Kaepernick, what do you bring him to do? Either if you're a coach, you think that he's going to stabilize that position for the next handful of years or not. I mean, what would be his long-term upside? 3 more years? So you drafted a guy this year that you hope can get on the field maybe in a year or so. You've got a guy that either Mariota is going to kind of sink or swim with you, but you also have a relationship with you. The whole idea of that he would win the job in Atlanta doesn't hold a lot of water. Remember when I talk about the Peter King theory, right? Remember when I talk about, who, by the way, is part of NBC and, is on Florio show and all that. Remember when I talk about the 35,000-foot view of the Peter King theory? Peter King knows more about the NFL than all of us, right? He's got a better handle on what the pulse of the league and taking the 35,000-foot snapshot view of what the NFL is. But here in Atlanta, I know more than what those guys know. And I'm not saying that with any due respect. I'm telling you that as working for the flagship, being around the team, talking to folks that are there every single day, I have a better pulse and understanding. Doesn't make me smarter than Peter King. I eat, live, breathe, drink, sleep, snort, soak in, spit up, whatever, everything Falcons. I could give 2 flips less about what the New York Giants have, what the San Francisco 49ers are going to be, or what the Dolphins may become. I couldn't care less about that. I'm more interested in, is my next bowel movement going to be solid before I care about any of those other teams in the league? So I'm narrow focused on everything that I do, and that relates into the Atlanta Falcons. And for this franchise, this would make no sense whatsoever. And there's no way to quantify the idea of he is or is not a better option than what we have in Atlanta. When you weigh all of the other things, okay, let me help you all out. And I hope Mike Florio is watching this, which he probably is. And thanks for subscribing, Mike, to our channel on YouTube. But I guarantee you, there's nothing upside or that would make sense about Colin Kaepernick being here in Atlanta. There's nothing about it from a PR or football perspective that makes any sense to bring Kaepernick in to this franchise. All right, when we get back, what is the best role for Spencer Strider as he picks up a win last night? Still looks great, but it's probably not where you would like to see him. It's Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery on Locked On Sports Atlanta.